And talking about successes and accomplishing things, have you ever heard about the original BBQ Hot from San Fernando in South Trinidad? Yeah, well, it is celebrating 30 years. And with us to talk about that and what the business is doing is Mr. David Bukal, who is the CEO of the original BBQ Hut. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I am very, very good. Happy as can be. How are you?
Okay, thank God for life.
Yeah, and we're talking about the original BBQ Hut celebrating 30 years. Before we get into what is happening now, how did you start this organization?
Well, sir, I started by working for someone in 1986. While going to school, I took a weekend job, Friday night, Saturday night. And while going to school, after Friday, you go to work, come back home Saturday morning, take a few hours rest, go back. I started meeting people, meeting human beings, started seeing outside, how the outside is more or less nights. It was more or less like an outside life, you know, but I was also looking to start my life with something, so I was looking for something to do. What should I do? So it was just going to school, working on weekends, going to school, working on weekends, until I finished school. And that was approximately 1987. So when I finished school, I decided, well, you know what? I would like to do anything but cook now. I just like to cook. Because, you know, growing up, young boys, we always like to make cook all over.
Yeah.
You speak about a cricket team just now. I saw after the celebration, somebody wanted to cook a duck.
Well, the guys who made duck here, you know, we all...
So it must have a cook.
Yeah,
every good lime in TNT, it must have a cook.
And every weekend somebody going by the river and they're going to do something.
And we love taste. We love tasty things. So I decided to look, what could I do? And as being a new Muslim, so to speak, I converted to Islam in 1986. I decided to look to see where would I find me being successful out here. And I also noticed that at that time, there weren't halal food, halal chicken and chips. There weren't too much for sale. So I said, you know what? That might just be right. So I kept on working until 1996, 1997. 96, so to speak. So I worked for someone for 11 years before I went out on my own. I worked at Crossing Roundabout. In those days, it had a lot of nightclubs around. The mall was around. Not too long it started. So everybody was out in the night, and it was very nice to be out in the night. Now that is not now, it's still not nice now to be out in the night. My experience outside there is a nightlife from 1986 up until last night.
Yeah, so it's been long.
Oh, yeah.
So what is the original BBQ Hut doing now?
What is I always have been trying to do? Serve the best halal barbecue in the world.
Yeah. And it's been going well? How has that been going for you?
Well, sir, great. Because with that, you meet people. And when you meet people, then you get the opportunity to speak to people. And when you speak to people, you will get to understand what they like. You know, and people, if you have something good, they will always come back. If you have good ways and you treat people kindly, then they would always come back. And you would also get the opportunity again to meet them. And you would talk more. So eventually, you would develop a people kind of thing, you know. You and people, you would understand people and how they are. their eating habits, their drinking habits, their liming habits, their party habits, and most of all, the food habits, because you have good food. So it was always about having a great taste, you know, from barbecue. When I used to work at Crossing Roundabout, my job was to wash wares for $60 a night. And at that time, I needed just $25 a week for school. I had a lot extra. So, washing wares, then I went on to steaming chicken. And from steaming chicken, then I went on to grilling chicken. And from grilling chicken, I went on to selling chicken. Because after 4 years, the boss decided, well, you need somebody to sell. So I was more or less the manager at that time. And I was just the barbecue at Crossing Roundabout. And that was a barbecue that opposite the barbecue had oysters. And next to the oysters had coconuts. So you find a lot of limers used to be on the roundabout at that time. So barbecue, oysters, coconut water.
A good lime in that area. But it has been a process for you from starting off from washing the dishes to being where you are today. So for a young person looking and listening and saying, you know, I want to have a business, but I don't want to go through this process, how do you encourage them?
Well, sir, I have been working, this year would be more or less 32 years in working for someone and my own business. If someone wants to go into business now, I wouldn't advise them to go into barbecue because they wouldn't get too far.
Yeah.
You know. And if they do want to go into barbecue, well, very soon the original BBQ Hot will be up for franchisees. We will be franchising. So we have been working hard towards, you know, making it real, making it happen. So if someone wants to go into business now and they really want to go into barbecue, they could just give us a little more time. We would see about franchising. Otherwise, food is always a great thing.
Yeah, and that is always a seller. You always hear people say, if you want to get into a business, get into the food business, because people are always looking to buy food somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you look to franchise,
Yep.
sell off. Anybody can be part of that? How do they come and be part of that?
Anybody could be part of that. I don't want to go into franchise too much this morning because it's a bit secretive right now.
Yeah. So, but it's something that people can look out for. Where is the BBQ Hut located now?
85 to 89 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Yeah. And you and your organization, is it something that you alone see about, or family also have an input?
It's family. Actually, it's a family and a village. Most of the staff is from Dow Village, South Rupich, is where we born and grow. And most of the workers is from Dow Village, South Rupich. It's people that we know. So we choose the people from the village, you know, who like to cook. The people from the village who like the agriculture, who like to go out and work. And there's also people who like to cook.
Mr. Bokal, I would like to thank you very much for coming in and talking with us about the original BBQ Hut. And I can tell you, I've had barbecue from the original BBQ Hut, and it is one of the best barbecues that you can get in South. So if you want, you can pass and check it out. Don't just take my word for it. Thank you again, Mr. Bokal, for coming in and talking with us. This is Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago. We take a break and come back with more.